All right, here we go. Let's do this thing again because I am in a mood. I have been in a mood all week, but since I record all the shows at one time, actually I've only been in the same mood for 30 minutes. So go figure. It's physics or something like that. It's got to be. But today, we're going to dig down in the bag of Scott Logic, and I'm going to because some people just don't want it complicated, and I like simple because simple works. The ultimate form of sophistication is simple. One bad question. Wait a second. But Tony Robbins says, not getting what you want, ask a better question. Well, today we're going to ask the best bad question on the planet. If you're willing to do it, it'll make you happy. Deal? Cool. Hi, it's a daily boost from motivationtomove.com, your nearly famous motivational disc jockey, spewing out the words, the wisdoms, the wisecracks. A positive boost for you, some boost juice on you today, squirting it all over the place. So it's kind of funny. I've never said boost juice before. 17th season of doing this show, and I just finally said boost juice. I'm glad to have you here today. We have people all over the planet listening. And if you go to the Facebook page, dailyboostpodcast.com/Facebook, you'll see the chat we open up over there. I think at this point, about 600 people have commented on that. And it's funny. We had some people in Ireland. They're like, oh, you're from Ireland? Hey, you're just down the block. I had somebody who lives just 5 minutes from my house here. I'm not going to tell them where I live. But it's interesting. It's a cool place. You ought to check it out. Some very cool, as we call them, MTMers, Motivation to Move folks. We have one mission every single day. And this is not a pitch for you. I'm not selling you anything. dailyboostpremium.com. But I am going to tell you that it's just simple. If we can get you moving every single day, even when life gets in the way, and we can focus on the things that we want and not the things that, we don't, well, you shouldn't be focused on what you don't want anyway, unless it's an ex-husband or something. That's cool. But if we can just get out of bed and just simplify, and focus on the things that we want, no matter what gets in the way, eventually we'll get them. But I want it today? Of course I do. But sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes it takes longer. And what I've learned over time, I learned all these lessons, a lot of them when I was a black belt. I was training to get my black belt. Strangely enough, as soon as you get a white belt, all you want is a black belt, right? When you sign up for karate and you're a no belt, and then they start giving you your belts, and you're like, I know, so if I can punch, I can kick, look at me, I can break a pine board. It's awesome. Come on, let's get in the ring. I'm a black belt. I'm better than that damn black belt is. Until you get your butt kicked by an orange belt or a purple belt. And you go, what happened? And then you become a purple belt and you get yourself kicked by a brown belt. And one day you get to be a black belt and the instructor always kicks your butt. The instructors always win, period. The bottom line is this. There is in training people, I know something. I know that what I'm teaching you. I said, whatever you want is probably not what you need. So my thing is always to give you what you need. And how do I know that? Well, the reality is that if you haven't been there, if you haven't done it, you don't really know what you need because you haven't seen the inside yet. And it's that way with anybody. And as you come up, as I give you something to get you thinking about it, and I know what's going to happen. I'm going to give you what you need. You might not like it, but you might be thinking, yeah, but Scott's still whispering my ear all day today. So I hated him when he said it, and it was stupid the way he said it, but yet I still keep thinking about it. Well, what's happening is you're now moving, I'm going to say up the ladder. There's no up. It's just, you're just moving up in your consciousness and how you're thinking about yourself. You're learning to take on the more difficult challenge, a more difficult question that happens later. So sometimes, we talk about swagger. Well, you have swagger, as they say, as a white belt. Look at him. He thinks he's everything. He's a white belt. He's got swagger. Yeah, you do. Well, trust me, when you get beat up enough and you get a black belt, you got a different kind of swagger. But you don't know what that feels like until you go through the journey. So that's what the show's all about. It's just a journey. I have a very simple mission here, and we'll get on with the show here. So just chill. Here's the mission. I just figure if I can get you to check in a little bit every single day and teach you something and make you smile, I can trick you into making your life what you want it to be. That's my mission. And now, a word from a potential sponsor. Unless you're a premium member, then that doesn't matter. One bad question. Wait a second, a bad question? Yes, a bad question is going to make you happy. Long time Daily Boost podcast listeners, you know this question already. I learned it from a guy who writes films. I said, I just want to write a film. He said, why haven't you done it? I don't know, I just feel stuck. It's something I really, really want, but I don't know how to get it. I just want to do a film. And everybody kept me the same advice. Always give me the same darn advice. During the pandemic, everybody in California, they did two things. They got a microphone and started a podcast. That's one thing together combined. And they became a life coach. That's what happened. What's your why, Scott? Listen, the why is only important after you know what you want. I'll fight you all day on that one. Oh, you have to know why. I guess you could have a why that I want to change my life. Yeah, it's cool. But isn't that a what? Just like, okay, It pops in your head what I want, and then you say, okay, why do you want it? Then it works, okay? But getting what you want is simpler than that. Life happiness comes down to a word. The Sad Truth about Happiness is a book I read last week. Gad Saad wrote the book. He's a little political, so if you're a political person and you don't want to be triggered, don't read the book. But if that doesn't bother you, want some good stuff, read the book. But he talked about it, and he said, resilience is key. I will go further and say resilience in a happy way, resilience in not a mean way. It's so easy to get angry about life not going the direction you wanted to go. And it's okay, because anger is just a little emotion that can push you forward. Sometimes I'm mad as hell, I'm not going to take it anymore, and you don't, right? But the truth is, it's all resilience to get what you want. So when we come up against these unicorn and rainbowy people who just say you should be happy all the time, and that's how it is. Well, I am happy all the time, but sometimes, frankly, it's not a good thing. There's bad stuff happening. We have to get through it. But you'll always get what you want if you want it bad enough. You get a version of it. I mean, I cannot play NBA basketball these days. In fact, I could never play NBA basketball. I couldn't even play basketball. I'm not tall enough. I don't actually like to play basketball. So if I really wanted it badly that I was going to play NBA basketball someday, I'm probably not going to get there. But I'll get some version of it. And that's okay. Now, lots of times when we head down the road to do something, people say, I didn't get exactly what I wanted, but what I got was pretty cool. Yeah, because sometimes, you don't know what the road's going to look like. You find your path along the way. I was talking to a guy yesterday that's a comedian. And, being comedy is hard. I actually have a couple of comedy guys I've been talking to lately. I think they're therapy. No, I'm just working with them. But it's kind of hard. But he was moving into producing shows. So it's kind of a trajectory. You never saw that coming, did you? But it works okay. So you get a version of what you want. But if you really want it, I learned a lesson back when I was just starting out as a nearly famous motivational DJ a long time ago. Actually, back then I was just a shock jock. But I learned something. I used to do morning shows. I was a morning zoo guy. I was that dude on the radio. A long time ago. And I learned something. I didn't want it bad enough. And so I started doing other things. Thank God, because I took that skill set among 25 others and put it into this show. But I learned something back then. I said the guys who wanted it badly, they just stuck with it. In fact, one day, my ex-program director called me. He said, he went to KISS FM in Los Angeles, a pretty big radio station. Rick Dees was there. He goes, yeah, man, I was going to hire you for KISS FM. I was going to bring you down there. But I thought about it, and you just didn't want it bad enough. He's right. I didn't. Thinking back on it, I kind of wish I did. Do you want to be happier? How bad do you want it? So bad it makes me mad. Okay, you can get to happiness from mad. Get anywhere from anywhere. Any emotion will take you in any emotion. I don't care what you're thinking today. You can flip it around and do something else tomorrow. You could do it not even tomorrow. I'll get to it tomorrow. Why not do it now? I want to be mad today, then I'll be happy tomorrow. That's cool too. Whatever you want to do. How bad do you want it? I'm telling you, life is gonna punch you in the face. You're gonna think you're getting what you want. We talked about daily discipline earlier this week. The daily discipline of just pushing off in the right direction of things that are gonna pay off for you long term. That's a big deal. Got to have the daily discipline to get what I want. Might take me 20 years, but I'm going to get it. It's like buying a house or saving money. Same thing. It's compounding your life, right? How bad do you want it? You want more money? How bad do you want more money? Some people want money bad enough, they'll rob a bank. I don't want money bad enough for that. So I just rephrase it. How can I make money doing good stuff? Some people consider robbing a bank good stuff. I haven't made that jump yet, but who knows? I'm young. How bad do you want it? I don't care what's going on. You want to lose some weight today? You got 40 pounds to lose? How bad do you want it? Before you stick that thing in your mouth that you shouldn't be sticking in your mouth. I'm talking food. How bad do you want it? Want a better relationship? How bad? Or is it okay just to put up with it? Could be a boring relationship. Could be a toxic relationship. I have a good relationship. Joy is my wife, her name is Joy. She's a real joy. She's actually truly, really, literally happy almost all the time, except when she's not. I know it's me. Just happy. Of course, I'm funnier than she is, which makes her happy. That's probably why she's happy. So my life is actually good because of me. Wait a second, Scott. That sounds very narcissistic. But that's the truth. You're happy because of you. Your life is better because of you. Nobody else matters except you. Remember I asked you to hold that breath early in the week? Did you take another breath? Be happy about it, because one day there won't be one. The only two things you do in your life You take the first breath, you let out the last breath. Everything else in between, believe it or not, while it feels out of control, if you took your last breath before you expected to, it's all over anyway. How bad do you want it? Doesn't matter what you're doing. I know something. Cue the cool motivational music. Thank you. Nothing can stop you when you want it bad enough. Even people who say, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. You can't do that. That's not who you are. Doesn't matter. When you want it bad enough, you will always find a way. It might not be on a map. Or you Generation Z, that's a big piece of paper that's got a picture of the planet on it. And you drive your car where it says to go. You might not find it in GPS. Or some of those kids out in Silicon Valley, just when you need your map to work, they say, let's take them and send them that way. Put them through a neighborhood. You might not find it anywhere else. But if you want it bad enough, you'll find it. You might not even know where to go. You might not know the next step to take. And it's very likely if you haven't been there before, you haven't done it before. If you haven't... Listen, Scott Logic, pow. If you haven't done something before, is it reasonable to think you might not know how to do it? Or you might not know how to go get it. Is it reasonable? So what do? We figure out the next step and go, okay, what do I do next? Take the next step. Yeah, but I'm so tired. How bad do you want it, dude? Or do that? All right. Hey, tomorrow we're coming. Yeah. 10 truths. Boy, we're on a truthful week this week. Tomorrow is 10 truths that you need. They're self-evident. Use them with caution.